One of the ways that you can take an ordinary life and make it extraordinary is to learn to do every single thing that you do with and for God. Raise your kids for God. Let your marriage glorify God. Let your attitude glorify God. Let God into everything that you do. God believes in you. He's got hope for you. He's got a future plan for you. And no matter how many times you've messed up, God is willing to give you another chance and another chance and another chance if you'll just be serious about your relationship with Him. And yet when God speaks to you, when He puts something in your heart, when something in the Word comes alive to you, if you'll listen to your spirit and not your head, you see things and you can believe for things that just absolutely don't even make any sense. If you do something you believe God's asking you to do and it doesn't seem to work for a while, don't give up. Just keep believing if you heard from God that God will bring it to pass and make it happen. He'll either redirect you or you just need to wait on Him. You know, if you're not believing for the impossible, then you're not open for a miracle in your life. But I'll tell you one thing, if you believe that God's put something in your heart and it stays, and it's not going away, and it's not going away, you take one step, and you see what happens. If that seems to work, you take another step, and you see what happens. And if that seems to work, then you take another step. And pretty soon, those steps that were baby steps are starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And before you know it, you know what's going to happen? You're going to be running with God full speed ahead, doing things that you cannot even imagine.
We all have things that we're believing for. A dream to come to pass, our health to turn around, to meet the right person. We've been praying for a long time, standing on the promises. We don't see anything happening. But what you can't see is behind the scenes, God is at work. He not only heard you when you prayed, He took it one step further and put the miracle into motion. The psalmist said, the moment you pray, the tide of the battle begins to turn. And just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean the answer is not on the way. And the people that see promises fulfilled, the people that see breakthroughs are the people that keep praying, keep believing, keep standing in faith. In 1 John it says, this is the confidence we have in God. If we ask anything according to His will, we know that He hears us. Thoughts will tell you, it's not making a difference to pray. You're wasting your time getting your hopes up, believing that you'll get well. You saw the medical report. You'll never break the addiction. You've had it so long. Don't believe those thoughts. The moment you prayed, the Creator of the universe goes to work. It may not happen on your timetable or the way you thought, but He is a faithful God. What He promised you, He will bring to pass. David said, each morning I bring my request before God and wait expectantly. He didn't just pray and say, okay, I did my part. He prayed and then waited with expectation. He went through the day looking for God's goodness, believing for favor, talking like it was going to happen. Not, I'll never defeat this giant. Look how big he is. It's twice my size. I don't have a chance. David had a report of victory. He looked at Goliath and said, this day I will defeat you and feed your head to the birds of the air. He expected God's favor. He said, surely goodness, mercy follows me everywhere that I go. He was saying, in effect, I know the forces that are for me are greater than the forces that are against me. What am I saying? It's not enough to just pray. You have to follow it up with expectancy, with a knowing that God not only heard you because you prayed according to His will, but that He dispatched the angel with the answer. What God brings you, it may not be exactly what you thought, the way you thought, but I can tell you firsthand, what God has in store will be bigger, better, more rewarding than you ever imagined. Don't put God in a box. You may not see how it can happen. The medical report is not good. You don't have the finances, the connections. God has ways to do it that you've never thought of. David used a slingshot to defeat Goliath. He didn't have the training, the experience, the equipment, but a slingshot with the favor of God is more powerful than a whole army without it. God knows what you need, and He knows how to get it to you. You don't have to figure out how God's going to do it. The scripture says, lean not to your own understanding. If you try to figure it out, you're going to get confused. Well, you say, Joel, this all sounds good. It's encouraging, but I don't believe it's going to happen for me. I don't believe that just because you said something, anything's going to change. Then this is not for you. This is for believers. This is for people that know God is in control, that He set the miracle into motion, that the angel's on the way. You're going to see your healing, your promotion, your breakthrough, your victory. God is going to open doors no man can shut and take you to the fullness of your destiny.